Okay, we're going to continue. Hopefully you have your drawing completed. You can see some of the details that I put in mine, some signs, some curved windows. But before we can kind of just start coloring, we need to decide, figure out where this road edge is going to be. So we're going to make this fold that's going to make it stand upright like this. See that fold in the back? That's what we're going to be doing. So it's a little tricky. This is probably the trickiest part of it. You're going to put your finger on the front right at the crease, and you're going to have your other fingers over here, and you're going to hold this down, and you're going to be bending this over like that. So you want to make like a triangle in here, and you're going to crease right along that line. So you can see that is the edge of my buildings, and I'm going to kind of fold that back a little bit. So you can see how that now stands up. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. You want to hold one of your fingers here in the middle, and you're going to bring this back over here, about the same amount. I'm doing about 1 inch, and then crease that all the way to the center, and then make that fold there where the bottom of your buildings are, and just crease that in. Now eventually we will tape this when we're finished coloring it, but we're not going to do that right away. We're going to do the coloring next. So now that we have that crease there, we kind of know, we can open it up, but you can see that crease where that's going to be the edge of your roadway. And if you want to take your pencil or your pen and draw that, then you know when you're going to start the coloring where you need to stop. So I just used black for my roadway, and I did these like radiating lines from the center because I think that really emphasizes the depth in this. So, oops, that's not black. Oh, here we go. And I'm using colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, you can use whatever you have available. Maybe you have crayons or you have markers, and that is fine, whatever you have available. If you do not have anything to add color to this, then you can just shade this with your pencil. And you can see on my sample, I did one building just in the black and white so that you could see how that can be shaded if you just have pencils. So I'm coming out here from the center, and I'm gonna fill it in really well. I kind of start slowly and I just keep going over it, but I really like having those radiating lines coming out from the center. And of course, I like using the traditional yellow for the center line. That's nothing too fancy. The rest of your buildings, you can color them however you would like. When I'm using color pencil, I'm going to show you a technique for blending colors. This is not required. This is kind of if you're really into this and you want to learn the kind of the more advanced technique. This is definitely what we do in art class. I show you how to do this, blending with colored pencils. So whatever two colors that I'm going to blend together, colors that are near each other on the color wheel or similar shades are going to blend very easily. So if I take this light aqua and this darker blue and I color them solidly, and where I leave some space in between, and that's where I'm going to overlap them and make the blending of the two shades. So I'm going with a lighter color, and now I'm taking this darker blue, and I'm still going lightly with this darker blue, and then I'm going to use the aqua to go over top of it. And you can see now I have a nice gradation from that aqua to the darker blue. There's another way that you can add shading to things, and that is if you take the less dominant color or the lighter color and you color whatever object it is in solidly, you can use a darker color to add some shading. So I'm using a little bit of this reddish brown now on the corners of this doorway. And I can just go right over top of that orange with that darker color. So that's another method. You don't have to do any of this, but you can see it does add something. Here's some buildings that is just one color, and then here's where I put some color over top. And of course this one is shading from those different ones. So have fun with this. When you are completely finished with the coloring, you're going to bend this back up and you will put a little piece of tape right there on the corners. And on the class course folder, you will see where you can take a picture and post your finished work.